Okay, now we've got your attention. This is my project about mining the Metropolitan Fire Service, and what we're trying to do is to do some data mining on their data. The data you might have looked at, it contains 5 years worth of calls answered by the Metropolitan Fire Service, and it's got an ID number, date and time, station and some detail about the call. It doesn't look to be a very rich data set, but in fact it is a very rich data set, and combined with other data can provide all sorts of insights. For this project I decided to use Julia. Well, I didn't really decide, I was told. I've been using this in my PhD studies, and one of the reasons I'm attracted to it is that it's very fast. Supposedly it's a scripting language or something like R or MATLAB, but it runs at the speed of C++. So it looks pretty good for dealing with big data sets. Now the MFS data set isn't big, but I'll get on to in a moment why it has to get much bigger. If you're wondering what some Julia code looks like, you could look on GitHub, or here's some of mine. So it doesn't look too bad, and it runs pretty fast, as I said. Now down to technical stuff. What I'm trying to do is develop a logistic regression model, and this is a model that works out the probability that there'll be a fire call in any 1 minute, and that's determined by doing a sum and plugging into this equation you see on the left with the 1 over 1 plus e to the minus complex equation, and that gives you probability of a call. Obviously the probability of the call can either be 0 or 1 or something in between. So anyway, let's proceed. We should actually at this point add a reference, because I'm using work based by Gary King on logistic regression in rare event data. And what do we mean by rare event? Well, here what I'm doing is that we have all of the calls made by the Metropolitan Fire Service, but I add to them all the calls they didn't do, the calls that actually didn't happen. So in a given period, if they had a call, we'll use that, and if they didn't, we'll make up a non-call. And so we then have a set of calls and non-calls. So we write our code, we pull the data in, and there's the code at the top that was run in a command line window, of course, and then down the bottom there's a data set which we can see where in each hour on the 1st of May in 2009 there was a call in most hours, and we've recorded the details there, along with factors such as day of week, hour and month. One thing I did want to do was to include meteorology such as temperature and wind, but we ran out of time.